The government shutdown now stretching into its second month, and in just a matter of days, it could be the longest shutdown in American history.
Federal workers have not been paid the entire time. While both parties blame the other for the shutdown, they also say they want the government to reopen as soon as possible.
We want to enact a bipartisan spending agreement that actually makes life better for everyday Americans.
We need to pay our troops. We need to pay TSA agents. We need to pay, Customs and Border Protection. We need to pay our folks, and we also need to stop the suffering of millions of Americans that are looking at their SNAP benefits going away.
SNAP benefits are the latest program impacted by the shutdown, and here at home, thousands of families are wondering what to do next.
News 4 San Antonio's Darian Trotter joins us now with the questions we're looking to get answered as local officials look to address a surge in food demand.
I'm News 4 San Antonio's Darian Trotter with this week's unanswered questions. One of the big stories we're following is the uncertain future of the country's largest food aid program, known as SNAP. Last Friday, 2 federal judges made a major ruling saying the Trump administration must keep funding the SNAP program by using contingency money during the ongoing government shutdown that is now stretching into its 34th day. That ruling pumping the brakes on plans to stop funding SNAP at midnight Friday. But there are still questions about how the contingency plan will play out. $5.2 billion in contingency funds would allow partial payments for the month of November. Full funding is closer to $9 billion. The Trump administration has discretionary money to fill the gap and provide full benefits for November, but the president is unsure if he has legal authority to use the money. Although he is waiting to hear from the courts on how to move money around to fund SNAP payments, he said on record payments could flow by Wednesday, but there may be further delays impacting millions of families. Here's a breakdown. Some 42 million Americans rely on SNAP food benefits. That's 12% of the population, or 1 in 8 people. Here at home, about 3.5 million Texans receive SNAP food benefits, including 184,000 in Bexar County. Now, some opponents have referred to SNAP as a broken program that needs to be revised to eliminate fraud and misuse. Congressman Joaquin Castro and Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones are among those fighting for Texans.
This is the first time in SNAP's 60-year history that the federal government is refusing to provide assistance to families. The first time in 60 years that the government is cutting people off.
But I'm here to let folks know that you are not alone, and I hope more folks will join us.
Mayor Ortiz-Jones says San Antonio families utilize $50 million in SNAP benefits every month, which is why she's announced the city's commitment with local business partners like HEB, USAA, and the Spurs, to name a few, to bridge the gap of federal funding. So far, $1.6 million have been raised to provide $150 gift cards to San Antonio families in need.
We are not going to be able to meet $50 million, right? We need the federal government to get back up and running. The need is too great.
We are working to get answers on this still developing story, including will Governor Greg Abbott declare a state of emergency to allow the use of state rainy day funding for food assistance or to provide aid to food banks? Will the Trump administration partially or fully fund SNAP benefits by Wednesday? And because contingency plans would only be a temporary fix, what would be a more permanent solution if the government shutdown continues beyond November? You can find more on this story and others on our website, news4sanantonio.com. We will continue to work to get answers on this story and others. We'll be here every week to let you know what we find out. Tackling your unanswered questions, I'm News 4 San Antonio's Darian Trotter.
One of San Antonio's favorite comedians is doing his part to help out the community. Comedian Gabriel "Fluffy" Iglesias teamed up with San Antonio Food Bank to host a benefit show at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club on the city's north side. To see the show, people had to donate at least 5 cans of food. In all, hundreds of food items were collected. The food bank says while there were only 350 wristbands for the show, people really showed up and donated what they could.
San Antonio needs this, and it's a good cause. You know, I was telling people earlier, the laughter is going to be in here, but this is what is needed right now. This is really important right here for San Antonio.
The food bank says around 16,000 pounds of food were donated at the event.
Speaking of helping out, business owners in San Antonio are also stepping up to help others. Rachel Anderson, who owns a pet sitting business, was going viral for her efforts. Anderson says she was once on food stamps when she was laid off from her job several years ago. And this weekend, she gathered eggs from people she knows, added them to her own, and then handed them out. After running out, she went to local HEB and nearly cleaned them out as well.
I was going to do free eggs for myself. I went to sleep and then woke up to over 50,000 people that were liking, reposting, sharing, commenting, saying that they needed eggs. Knowing that I didn't have kids, and I was so grateful that day that I cried in my car when I got food stamps, I couldn't just sit home.
According to Anderson, she handed out more than 6,600 eggs. In fact, she says some people who came to get food even stayed to help pass out food to others. News 4 is partnering with the San Antonio Food Bank all of this November for our annual Food for SA drive. Donation bins will be at HEB and Security Service Federal Credit Union locations across the city through the month of November. Our goal is to collect 4 million pounds of food that will go directly to San Antonio families. And your donations are needed now more than ever, as food needs have increased dramatically since the July 4th floods and the government shutdown.
To help a family this Thanksgiving, just scan the QR code on your screen. You'll be taken to Food for SA's website, where you can find many ways to help. And every dollar donated helps provide 10 pounds of food to people fighting hunger. The most needed items include baby food, diapers, canned lunch meat, macaroni and cheese, and pet food. Collection events are on Saturdays at HEB stores this month, including this weekend at the Alamo Ranch location.